What if the most powerful asset a company could own wasn't a patent, a factory, or even a product, but a single, intangible idea that lives inside the heads of billions of people? We often look at the giants of industry and assume their dominance is the result of cold, calculated logistics, supply chains, massive marketing budgets, and sheer market saturation. And while those things certainly played a role, there is a different, deeper layer to the story of how a small import business, operating out of the trunk of a car, transformed into the undisputed king of the athletic world. To understand how they achieved this, we have to look past the shoes themselves and into the psychology of how a brand becomes a mirror for human ambition. In the early 1960s, the athletic footwear market wasn't just competitive. It was a fortress held by established European heavyweights who defined exactly what a shoe was supposed to be and who was allowed to wear them. Phil Knight, a middle-distance runner with a background in accounting, didn't start by trying to invent a new way to live. He started by trying to solve a very practical problem. He noticed that the running shoes available in America were either prohibitively expensive or functionally inadequate for the serious athlete. Alongside his legendary track coach Bill Bowerman, Knight saw a gap that others had overlooked. But here is the first turn in the story. They didn't set out to create a global lifestyle brand, they set out to be a better distributor. They were playing a game of efficiency, importing high-quality Japanese footwear and selling it to athletes who were hungry for better gear at a fair price. It was a humble, almost invisible beginning. There was no grand design for world domination. There was only the grind of track meets, the smell of damp grass, and the simple, quiet satisfaction of helping a runner shave a few seconds off their personal best. But as they transitioned from being distributors to creators, they stumbled upon something that would eventually change the trajectory of retail history. They realized that people didn't just want a shoe that performed well. They wanted a shoe that felt like an extension of their own potential. When Bill Bowerman poured rubber into his wife's kitchen waffle iron in an attempt to create a lighter, more grippy sole, he wasn't just designing footwear, he was engineering a symbol of ingenuity. That waffle sole, born from a mundane morning ritual, became the foundation for a revolution in traction and speed. It was the physical manifestation of a hacker mindset applied to business. It proved that sometimes the most disruptive innovation doesn't come from a sterile corporate laboratory, but from a garage or a kitchen where someone is just obsessed with making things work a little bit better. This obsession with the product is the bedrock of their success. But it wasn't the ceiling. As the company scaled, they faced the classic problem of every business that hits a certain level of growth. How do you stay relevant when your competitors are bigger, richer, and more established? The answer they found wasn't to spend more on ads, it was to invest more in meaning. They stopped selling shoes to athletes and started selling an identity to everyone. Consider the mid-80s, a period of stagnation for many, but a defining moment for them. They made a risky, multi-million-dollar bet on a young, unproven basketball player. Conventional business wisdom of the time dictated that you spread your bets. You sponsor a team, not an individual. You minimize risk by diversifying your influence. They did the exact opposite. They bet everything on the singular talent and aura of one man, creating a line of products that transformed a piece of leather and rubber into a cultural artifact. This move taught them the most valuable lesson of their history. Scarcity is not just a logistical constraint, it is a psychological trigger. When you make something limited, when you create a story around an object, you are no longer selling a utility, you are selling a piece of a legend. This is the second major turn. They understood that the product was actually the community, the hype, and the feeling of belonging to a tribe that believed in excellence. By the time the 1980s drew to a close, they had codified this philosophy into 3 simple words. Just do it wasn't an advertising slogan. It was a psychological anchor. It spoke to the universal human experience of hesitation, the moment before you start, the fear of failing, the doubt that whispers that you aren't ready. They didn't sell shoes for that moment. They sold a mental state. They positioned themselves not as the vendor of gear, but as the partner in your journey towards self-actualization. This shifted the entire business model from being a transactional company to being a relational one. They weren't just taking money in exchange for rubber soles. They were participating in the viewer's personal development. If you look at their growth over the next 30 years, it becomes clear that they were building a digital and physical ecosystem that prioritized this relationship above all else. From the early days of community-led grassroots events to the sophisticated data-driven experience of their modern mobile applications, every touchpoint is designed to keep you in the loop. They mastered the art of the drop, the limited release that turns shopping into a high-stakes event. It creates a feedback loop of anticipation, participation, and social validation. You aren't just buying a sneaker, you are passing a test. You are gaining entry into a club. This strategy keeps them insulated from the fluctuations of the broader economy because they aren't selling a commodity. They are selling social capital. But there is a hidden cost to this kind of absolute dominance. To maintain a brand that represents perfection, you have to be perfect. And as any student of business knows, no company is perfect forever. The history of their climb to the top is also marked by moments of intense scrutiny. When you build a house that stands for something, people will inevitably hold you to that standard. They have had to navigate the complexities of global supply chains, the ethical questions of manufacturing, and the delicate balance of staying cool while becoming a massive, multi-billion-dollar monolith. Their ability to survive these crises and emerge stronger is perhaps the most impressive part of their story. It shows that resilience is a business strategy too. They didn't retreat when the spotlight hit their shortcomings. They evolved. They started investing in sustainability, in local communities, and in telling the stories of athletes who didn't just win gold medals, but who fought for change. This is the third turn. The realization that a brand, like a person, must grow up. It cannot forever rely on the same tricks, the same endorsements, or the same narratives. It must be willing to let go of its old self to make room for its new identity. Today, as we watch them navigate a world that is more digital, more skeptical, and more fragmented than ever, the core question remains: how do you stay a giant without becoming heavy? The answer seems to lie in the same place it started. A stubborn, almost irrational commitment to the story. They have proven that business is not just about the exchange of goods. It is about the exchange of meaning. They taught us that a sneaker is not just a piece of fabric to protect your feet, but a vessel for the stories we tell ourselves about who we are and what we are capable of. As you look at your own projects, your own career, and your own aspirations, consider this. What is the story that you are selling? Is it just the utility of what you do, or are you offering something that helps the people around you become the best version of themselves? Because in the end, it's not the logo that makes the brand. It's the millions of people who see that logo, and for a fleeting moment, believe that they too can be a hero in their own life. Whether you are building a business, a brand, or just a life, the lesson remains as sharp today as it was in the 1960s. Don't focus on selling the product, focus on selling the possibility. The rest, if you are as disciplined as they were, will eventually follow. It is a quiet, steady pursuit of excellence, one step at a time, until the world catches up to where you've been standing all along.